It was $14. Of course, 14. You know what I mean? I'm saying it wrong still. I can't roll my R's. I'm sorry.
Sandy.
But I didn't tell him that.
What did you tell him?
I told him that his total was 14.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fire Lane Podcast. Here with my handsome, freshly cut hair.
It's your boy, Moses.
Moises.
Rico.
Moises. I don't even know why you keep saying Moses.
Moses.
I go with Moses.
Sounds more powerful.
And we have some guests.
Yeah. Hold on.
Who are you guys?
I'm Noe.
I'm Sandy.
And Sandy. Welcome, guys.
Welcome, guys. Hi.
Thanks for having us.
I know. Thank you guys for having us.
Do you guys need some buckets for your sweat? Or?
It's all Sandy. All Sandy. I won't lie. I'm a bit nervous, but not that much.
Yeah.
You guys are good.
Yeah, you're good.
It's
It's just
okay.
the cats listening right now. They're like,
All these mics right.
oh, that's our audience.
All the stuffed animals are the audience. So.
That's a big celebrity, Minnie Mouse right there.
Yeah, Minnie Mouse, see?
Minnie Mouse in the house.
That's Howard the Duck. See, the dog is like peeking through the donut right there.
oh man, this is already fun.
Yeah. How are you guys? How you guys been?
Not too bad, actually. Enjoying the day so far. Excited to be on here. You know how it is.
There you go.
Good to see you guys again.
I know.
I haven't seen you guys in a while. When was the last time? Sun City?
Yeah, Sun City.
For you, no, I was off for
Morgan
you
Page.
guys. Morgan Page for me was the last time I saw you guys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Morgan Page. Which one?
Brenda
Which one?
actually had.
No.
Is it that one?
Stop.
Is that same one?
Wait.
No freaking way. Is that same one?
It's the one for what did I have?
What are you talking about?
No. She had a sample thing for the face.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that-
And
no.
then she
Okay,
showed me
okay.
how scary
Not
I
Morgan
looked.
Page. Oh, I was getting really nervous.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk
The
about.
face thing when she made me look scary. I was like, oh my god, I look ugly.
Yeah, when I went to her house, yeah.
That was
So
last-
Morgan Page, is it the Morgan Page that we went to?
I don't know. Let's not.
Because I don't remember going to another Morgan Page.
I don't remember that night, so I don't know when I saw it.
Okay, that was a very crazy
That Morgan
night.
Page was what, 5 years ago? 5
Yeah.
to 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then
That was a
it
very crazy night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was.
You don't even want to
So
know.
we saw you that night?
We
We
were
were all
with you
together.
guys. We were,
Shut up.
yeah.
Because it was for her birthday, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it was for
we
her
were all
birthday.
with
Because it was like in
Sushi, I think.
October.
Yeah.
It was like in October.
Yeah. And they took her
October,
for
yeah.
her birthday.
It was
See?
in November, the beginning.
It was
November
November.
6th.
So
I remember.
I remember the
I was
day.
I just knew it was in the fall time, somewhere around there. So that's all I knew. I don't remember much
Yeah,
of
it
that
was
night
fall.
either.
That's cool.
I
was
don't remember
fun.
much of that night either.
Yeah. It's my
Yeah, because
my worst
We don't
moment.
talk about that.
It's all a blur. It doesn't count.
now everyone's gonna wonder what happened that night. That's the night we're gonna talk
on the
about.
next podcast.
Stay tuned for more.
I didn't realize how much you guys know.
I don't know. See, we've been friends technically for a long time, just haven't seen each other in a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, in a while.
We're that bunch that just gets together again. We're like, hey, it's
What's
like
up?
We never miss a beat.
Let's record.
Yeah, exactly.
So, where you been?
Well, that's how it all started. Was when I reached out to you. I think right, you're the one that handles the Instagram page.
Yeah.
I was all, yeah, I reached out to you and I was talking to you, and that's how it all started. And look where we're at now.
Woo.
Recording.
That's so cool.
Because they're
That's so cool.
superstars now. Okay.
You're gonna be famous.
Well, you and Sandy have history.
Yeah. I've known Sandy since school.
Yeah.
What, like elementary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang, since elementary.
Aww.
Good time.
Those are
Yeah.
I always remember her because of her green eyes.
Everybody does, but nobody remembers my name. Like,
I was
What
like,
do you mean?
Brenda!
Hey,
that girl would
green
be
No, you
nice.
should have seen my face when I saw her. I was like, oh my god!
yeah.
She was probably like, who is this girl?
A little
I was like,
bit,
I
but then I was
remember
like,
her.
oh yeah, Sandy. And
forgot
I
she's
mean,
a-
I was pregnant when I saw
Yeah.
you again, so I wasn't drunk.
No.
But I was like, yeah.
Neither was I.
I hope not.
Neither was I. It was good. It was good to see you.
But see, the last time that you guys saw each other was still even 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
3 years.
Man.
Good
Podcast
times.
bringing
Good
people
times.
together. See?
I know.
Great minds coming together.
We're very happy to have you guys over.
Again, thank you guys.
Cover this topic we're going to talk about today. But first, before we get into it, we want to talk about you guys, what you guys have going on. I know you guys have a podcast coming up soon.
Yes, I do. Going to be starting a podcast here soon. I kind of officially landed on the name already. We're gonna go for the Mad Medic Adventures.
There you go.
Reason for that is, of course, I'm an EMT.
Yeah.
So my life as an EMT is just
Fun.
one crazy ride. That's the best way to do it. I can tell you stories from being on the ambulance, for waiting on calls, to you name it. I have a story for it. I've done a lot of crazy stuff with the ambulance, huh?
Yeah.
So we gotta have you up more often here.
I was all like,
Yeah,
to
what's
tell
I
us
was
the
all
story.
like,
It's just
like
the other day, you guys were speeding through like high winds and rain.
Oh yeah, I was just this week actually, on Wednesday, got a call out in the middle of nowhere pretty much, because I work out in Sierra Blanca, so
Yeah.
I have to cover from Sierra Blanca pretty much all the way to Van Horn, and we got caught in a storm, and was pretty much doing about 80 through rain where you could barely see to the end of the hood, trying to hurry up and get to that call.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was pretty scary, but we got to the call. Luckily, when we got to the call, it wasn't bad or anything. You know, just had to check to make sure the airbags didn't knock anybody out or anything like that. But the whole time I was talking to a lady, it was pouring on me, and I had a very thin hoodie. So pretty much my driver didn't want to get out of the ambulance, and I was just drenched by the time I got back in. So I had to, as soon as I got back to the station, I was like, all right, I'm going home. They have a house for us there. I went home, threw my stuff in the dryer, and knocked out. But I was so, like, on the side of the highway, just trying to help somebody out.
It's true. He didn't call me to say goodnight.
But yeah, I have plenty of stories, so I went with the Mad Medic Adventures just because, yeah, I'm kind of crazy.
He's seen some stuff.
That's cool. That's a really cool name.
Yeah, so with that, you know, the Mad Medic Adventures, I'm going to be talking just pretty much about my daily life, anything that piques my interest. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to, of course, Joe Rogan Experience, the last podcast on the left, and stuff like that. And that's what actually inspired me to want my own podcast. Because I see it, I'm like, it's just a lot of interacting with people. It's just people having conversation. Like, there's no better way to connect with people than just having conversation with them. And my way of doing that is having fun, talking with them, and throwing in some comedy here and there, and it'd be awesome. You know what I mean?
Definitely. So, since you're an EMT, and you said that that he didn't call you that night, he's like, bang, she's bleeding to death. I can tell.
Oh no,
Who is she?
I've had calls like that where I'm transporting to El Paso and I get about 4 missed calls.
Yeah.
And then when I finally answer on the 5th one, she's like, well, how come you haven't answered? I'm like, well, because I'm in the back of the ambulance transporting somebody. Yeah, I mean, so I have times like that.
She's like, turn on your FaceTime. Let me see who's there.
Exactly.
I've done it. I have.
Why does that sound like a woman? Because that's a woman who's injured.
She's asking for my
Exactly.
help. Jeez.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
No.
That's hilarious.
No, but
I'm
Sounds
not
like
allowed
you.
to do CPR on any women.
no.
Really?
You
No,
can't protection. There's a mouthpiece for it.
Yeah. Use the
She won't let me.
There's
Back-
mono.
Like, sorry, ma'am, I'm married. I can't help you.
Yeah.
Let me call my
Yeah.
wife and ask for permission.
Go
Right.
by her.
Real quick call. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 5 minutes. Let me just talk to her. I
Well, that day
gotta
you
smooth
sent
talk
me
her a
that
little bit.
video, you didn't even call me. I was all worried.
Yeah, so
I
that's
gotta
what I do.
act tough. I can't show my feelings.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's true though.
Oh man, you
But
guys
yeah.
are hilarious.
See, and that's what I'm telling you. She's gonna have to be on the podcast with me every
Yeah.
once in a while because, believe me, the conversations that we have, just in general, that's what made me say like,
Yeah.
I can do a podcast.
I'm sure.
The conversation that we have, we can sit there and talk about the most random subjects forever, and it won't get old to us. So
That's
I know
true.
that she would make a good co-host,
Oh yeah.
but she's shy.
I am.
She gets over it.
Theater was a long time ago. I changed my ways.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
She laughs at the smallest things ever. She
good.
laughed. She laughed earlier today because I hugged her, and because her head was here, but she was talking to me. Me está regañando.
Like I was talking to him, staring at his
amazed by the
chest. I was like,
See, I'm telling you,
I'm trying to be mad at you, but your pecs are staring me in the face.
she was noticing the gains.
It's the wrong eyes. The wrong eyes.
and I was cracking up, and I couldn't stop. He's like,
Like-
"Why are you laughing?" And I was like, "Oh."
See, and that's the first time that you can say, "Hey, my eyes are up here."
Right?
You had every right. Now you know what it feels like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you know what
Yeah.
it feels like.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, I know you guys have also like a side business with comics and collectibles and all that stuff.
Yes, you can find it on Instagram and Facebook, Nerd Vision Toys and Collectibles. That one, well, the same thing. Just one day, we're very big into Comic Cons and stuff like that.
Have you gone
Comic-Con.
to like EPCon or whatever it's called?
We try to go to that one every year, but we also go out of town for some. The last big one that we went out of town was Kamea-Con.
Yes.
I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
We.
well, as you can tell, we are big Dragon Ball fans, and we went out
I grew up
to
here.
Dallas because they had a comic book convention, pretty much just for nothing but Dragon Ball. So they had
Konami-Con, that's like Konami.
Kamea-Con.
Oh, Kamea-Con.
Kamea-Con. So that one, it had pretty much a bunch of voice actors for different characters. She got to meet her favorite voice actor,
Wees.
and I got to meet actually the voice of Japanese Vegeta, and that was like my childhood right there. Like
Yeah?
meeting him, like it was cool, and it was awesome because he met little Noe and actually picked him up and everything like that. So that
I
was
think I saw a picture of that.
yeah. So that was like made the whole trip. But
His voice trembled.
You fell in love.
I was off for a little bit there. I did, but
Like,
so pretty much.
sign me. Sign
Yeah.
it, sir.
But no, we're very big into that, and that's what made me kind of say like, hey, like I like all this nerdy stuff, so why not sell it?
Yeah.
So we looked into, of course, Funko Pops. That's like our main thing that we sell, and little by little, we started figuring out what people liked, and started going off of that, and started selling stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We put a lot of the stuff out that we have on the Instagram page and stuff like that, so people can see what we have in stock, and that's what they go for.
That's cool.
Like I know a big one right now is the It movie, the chapter
love it.
2. Yeah, I was like, we do too.
I love it.
But that's a big one that now that's everyone is looking for. So I'm pretty sure you can find them out there, but we usually try to have them in stock, and anything scary is a top seller.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like,
I was scared to go to a Hot Topic and I think Spencer's when I was a little kid.
Really?
In the mall. Because they always had Chucky.
No,
And my sister would always tease me. Like, she would literally go to Chucky like, man. Like,
no,
scare.
and see, and you'll be surprised, like, on the people in El Paso, they love anything horror. Like, horror is the thing, I guess, with anyone. 'Cause
Wow.
that's with me. I like scary stuff.
Yeah, I
like
do
a
too.
lot.
I'm picky.
I was all like, I got her into the Conjuring series. So we just watched Annabelle. Which one was it? Annabelle?
The Creation?
The Creation?
Was it Creation? Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it Comes Home?
No.
Oh, yeah, Comes Home.
Comes Home.
Creation was the second one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's one of them though. But we watched it
One of
this
the 50.
weekend, and I will say that movie disappointed a little bit, but it's still a scary movie. I still like them.
Yeah.
So.
I like The Conjuring.
I haven't seen the first one yet.
Yeah,
I
seen
will
The
not.
Conjuring?
No, she's seen it.
No.
She just doesn't
I
remember
was in
because
the
she
princess of the movie while it was playing.
her face was buried in my shoulder pretty much the whole time.
I was like this.
She was literally like,
So that's what she saw.
we were laying down on the couch, and she's sitting down, and I'm kind of laying against her, and the whole time she's freaking out. So she literally had me in like a chokehold. It was like squeezing me, and I'm pretty sure I should have made it through that movie because I probably passed out a couple of times. But
Remember that part?
yeah, I was like, no, I just woke up.
You're like, what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
The movie's
demon
already
came
done?
out.
What year is it?
Oh, so I was
The
all
second one, yeah.
No, see, I was all, but she likes scary, but to a certain extent.
Yeah.
This last year for Halloween, before Halloween, me, her, and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law went out to the KLAQ haunted house. She didn't make it through all that, but she did. But it was.
Of course, I couldn't stay behind.
Yeah, she made it by force pretty much, but she was stuck in my shoulder again. And then we went to another one right after that one, the Texas Terror Trail out in Canotio.
Yeah.
And the same thing. We were I enjoyed it, but she enjoyed it too, I guess. But from everything that she didn't get to see, I guess that's the reason why she enjoyed it. She literally walked through it like covering her eyes the whole time.
You're like, did you see that clown? Like, no.
I'm just looking
What
for the
clown?
exit.
I couldn't see nobody.
I could see
cool.
Sandy like with the
Yeah, I could picture.
like I could
Picture
just
it right
like I could picture with like the people trying to scare you like you better not. I will hurt you.
No, hold on.
Oh.
Actually,
She has a story on that one.
Oh.
She's,
Wow.
I think
I
what
punched one of the
You
was
punched?
he a co-host or something from Power 102 many years ago.
he used to be a co-host. What was his name? Tiny Titi?
Tiny Titi.
He was I guess vertically challenged.
Yeah, he was a little midget guy.
And
He was a little.
He's like, he made it nice and you were like,
I know. There's a savagery. See? But apparently what the story that she tells me is that she, I guess, got scared when he jumped out and she threw a punch.
No, he chased me down this aisle and I was like, ah!
And she just
And I took off running.
punched him and run.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre popped out. It's like,
so you didn't go straight, you went down.
I went down and then I ran.
Could you say you gave a short jab?
I did.
That was fun. Actually, it was my bachelor party. It was last minute. It was very last minute because I was like, no, I don't want no bachelor party. But yeah, I invited my coworkers. My brother bought the ticket. I was already, what do you call it? Not sober.
I was like
Waiting to
just,
go in line.
Inebriated.
Yeah.
We'll
like,
go with that.
just be honest so that people don't think I was the only one that always got drunk.
Well, adults.
And that's where you guys went to the haunted house?
No, we went to go watch it at the movie.
Oh, okay.
2 years ago,
That was
well,
alright.
they did.
I was all and see.
She went to an actual like bachelorette party. Like
Oh,
they took
it
her
was
out.
like
It was
a
dinner. Where'd you go after? Target or whatever.
Target.
Hey, that's badass.
No, it
I was
wasn't.
all,
Target.
see,
Target.
I was all see, and we didn't have bachelor parties. My bachelor party consisted of me flying to Virginia and driving from Virginia all the way to El Paso with my cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
But why?
The week
Explain why.
the week before we got married. The week before we got married, my cousin was like, "Hey, well, I'm gonna need you like to come out here and help me out to move his stuff. He's in the Navy.
Yeah.
He's on. So I'm moving from here. Gonna leave all my stuff in El Paso. I gotta go to San Diego for school. So I need your help to drive down here." So I'm like, okay. So I fly out there and I get there, go bar hopping a couple of days or a couple hours,
Sandy.
hours because
Sandy
we were on
face.
the road the other days. Cause yeah, I took off Wednesday.
Sandy's sweet.
I took off Wednesday, and we were getting married Friday, and I had to make it back before then, so I can't be bar hopping for days. Hours is what I meant.
That's why you didn't answer me.
Fine.
That's why the whole
3 years
reason
later, I'm finding out.
why she calls me nonstop now. But no, so pretty much I got there and went to a couple of bars with him. We knocked out, and we were on the road by about 5 o'clock in the morning. We left, drove pretty much from Virginia all the way to, I think it was Louisiana, in one day. And then the next day was pretty much all of Texas.
Yeah, one day is one. To get across Texas one whole day.
Yeah, so we took a whole day to get across Texas, and pretty much I got into El Paso probably about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Friday morning, right?
Friday morning,
Yeah.
yeah. And we were going to get married that day.
You get down here and marry me.
That's pretty much what she told me. She's like, you better not be late for us getting married. And I was like, no, I won't. So we got in at 2 o'clock. I was dying like the last leg all the way from Van Horn to El Paso, but made it somehow. And fell asleep at my cousin's house, woke up the next day, went shopping for some nice dress clothes and stuff like that, and was at the court to get married.
Yeah. And then we got locked out of our house.
That same day?
Yeah.
Well,
we left the keys inside.
Our wedding day was pretty crazy too. A lot of stuff went down.
I don't want to talk about it.
But yeah, that was technically my bachelor party. I was all like...
The drive.
I was all like...
Giving me that side eye.
Yeah.
Who's sleeping in the couch tonight?
I'm gonna keep looking straight, guys. All right?
You're like, is she looking at me? Is she looking at me?
All it is looking at you.
I know.
You feel it.
I
I
can
felt
feel it.
hers all the time. It's pretty funny.
And she got those green eyes. She got you.
It's worse.
Oh, yeah.
They can like turn color.
If they turn red, that's
That's it.
it. They've never
She's
turned
the
red.
X-Men. Exit.
Right?
Yeah.
The X-Men. That's funny. Who's your guys' favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
Mine's Whis and Beerus.
Weiss and Beerus from the new one for her and for me.
What about the old school one? The
Old school?
one that we all grew up with.
Old school has got to be Vegeta.
Yeah?
Honestly, Vegeta is my favorite. And the new time, say Jiren?
Yeah.
Jiren. That's mine.
Because I've only seen the old one, and I love the old one. So that's the one.
I was all like, well, the new one, I was all like, I got into that one like really late. Like that one already had been on for a year before I got into it. So when I got into it, I was already way behind. So I had to pretty much, what did I find it on? Was it on YouTube? I think I would go to YouTube and find all the episodes and watch them in Japanese all the way up until the episodes where I caught up pretty much. So the new Dragon Ball is still playing in the, I guess, American English version. It's still going right now, but that season's already completely finished. For like a year and a half already.
We're
That's
like
crazy.
behind.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I watched it in Spanish. And
That's the original.
It in Spanish. Yeah,
the original in
and
Spanish. I remember coming home and watching it in Spanish and then watching it in English.
Yeah.
After school.
Do you know what we're talking about, babe?
Yeah.
Very convincing.
And now, now our kids are really into it.
Moment of honesty here. Who here has ever tried to become a Super Saiyan?
Yeah.
Oh, no, hands down. Hands down.
Me.
Hands down.
I sound like Broly when I'm mad.
You become Broly?
I always told her that's if I could be one thing, that's what I want to be right there. A
Super Saiyan?
Hell yeah.
Super Saiyan when I grow up.
I wanted to be a fire truck.
It's like baby.
Not a fireman, a fire truck when I wanted to go.
What you, babe? Did you try to become a Super Saiyan?
No.
Sailor Moon.
I wasn't.
There you go. There you
You were
go.
into Sailor Moon?
She's cool.
See, I was all like, that's the thing. Growing up Mexican,
does with her
the
little
girls were
Sailor
Sailor
Moon.
Moon and the guys were Dragon Ball.
What about Super Campeones?
I have no idea what that is.
No? What?
Sandy,
I
maybe.
think I've seen it.
Although Sandy, but me, I've never.
It's
Is that that one that's the soccer one?
Yeah, the soccer
I
one
know,
that
I've
takes
seen-
like a
I've
day
seen-
to score.
Yeah, I've seen
Campeones.
I've seen episodes, but I never got into it.
What about Ranma?
That was cool.
No, I didn't like
The
that.
one
Like
that,
back and forth.
yeah, I think it was a sneeze. Was it a sneeze or
don't know.
no? They got wet. Which one was
I
it?
think it was a
don't-
wet one.
Yeah, it was a wet one, right? They got
so.
wet and then changed gender.
What?
Yeah.
This is where I was learning Spanish.
I
So
was all. That's crazy. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, those are
Cool.
the old school anime ones.
I was all the ones. My old school is of course Dragon Ball, Pokemon,
What about
Digimon, and
Digimon.
what's the other one?
Digital.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
I used to watch that
Yu-Gi-Oh.
one a lot too. Those were like mine growing up.
Yeah. What about what's that one called? Los Caballeros del Zodiaco.
I've heard of that one. I've watched
Those
a
are
couple.
old. Those
Yeah,
are
I
old.
watched a couple of those.
That's like over the mountain.
Yeah. I did watch a couple of those, and then like Gundam Wing also.
Yeah, that one too.
That was like a big one for me. Like
Los Gatos Samurai, no?
that, I know that one. I know that one.
You're like
My cousin Sammy was very big into that one.
Power Rangers.
She has no idea what we're talking about.
Power
now.
Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Power
I know
Rangers.
Power Rangers.
You know Power Rangers?
Power
Everyone
Rangers
knows Power Rangers.
and Ninja Turtles for her.
Yeah, I watched those too. I did.
You know what? Arthur
Okay.
is cool too. Okay.
Hey.
He's
I
not
never-
anime, but
I never said he wasn't.
You mean Arthur from PBS?
Yes.
The one we still watch.
some of us didn't have cable. Okay.
Exactly.
I didn't have cable
I didn't
either.
even have a TV. So I don't know any of these.
You would listen to novelas on the radio.
I would hear the neighbors' TVs like, oh, that's a cartoon.
They're cut.
At the window.
The
Like, oh, I can see a little bit.
Súbale la vecina.
from the backyard, I thought. That's funny.
¿Qué dijo?
¿Qué está pasando?
My neighbors right now are gonna be like,
¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué
huh,
le dijo?
no wonder we kept hearing someone saying "súbale." Just kidding. Just kidding. It's not true, Kathy. It's not true.
Kathy, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Who's Kathy?
But thank you for the free electricity and the TV. For all those days I was grounded, I just sat outside and watched your novela.
Told him I was gonna go play outside, but was watching TV through your window.
Right.
See, that was smart.
She's the original Richard Ramirez.
Stalking you through the windows.
She was like, let's go to movies, guys. And then pulls
Just
up,
sit outside.
No,
pulls up a lawn chair in the backyard.
Sorry guys, the theater's closed. What do you mean it's always open? No, my neighbors are gone.
Ándale.
No.
back at 11.
If I keep laughing, I won't be able to stop. That's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Please
nothing.
don't look at me. It makes it worse.
You mean look at me?
Remember, eyes up here.
Hey.
Stop it.
Well, let's
Well,
get into our
it's
actual
already-
topic. Let's get into the actual topic of this podcast.
That was just the intro, guys.
That was
Just
just the intro.
intro.
Well, a long intro.
I know.
Very
was fun,
long
though.
intro, right? But you guys have a son, right?
Yes, we have two actually.
You have two sons.
Yes.
Cool.
You didn't know?
Our oldest one, Ryan, and then our youngest one, Noe. Ryan's 10, Noe's 5.
Mm.
The
Do
other
they look
one
the
likes to
same?
play. No.
They don't look the same.
One's white, one's brown.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like that's the best description that we have. That was,
My
our kids are
10-year-old is a white, full-body boy, and my 5-year-old is a little skinny brown boy.
ebony and ivory.
Yeah.
Literally.
But that's just how Abel and Emma are. Like, Emma's really white. And Abel is dark.
Morenito.
Tiene un nopal en la frente.
That's Noe.
Hola.
No, Noe,
Hola,
Noe
amigos.
definitely knows way more Spanish than me.
Yeah, he
Yeah?
knows C.
Yeah. That's already way more than I know.
Really?
I'm plain and simple, I'm a coconut. I'm brown on the outside, super white on the inside.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm born and raised here in El Paso.
Little Joe.
Born and raised here in El Paso,
What side
but
of town, though?
east side.
That's why.
That's
I didn't grow up in the valley. No, but
You
Born
didn't
in the
grow
hood.
up where you live
No,
because
see.
if you had,
see, I was all like,
I wouldn't
I
have
grew up
it
like
would have been a
around Spanish like nonstop. My grandparents, my dad's parents, pretty much in my younger years only spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
But they're from a small town like an hour away called Del City. That's where they lived, and thanks. And pretty much growing up, they were wanting me to speak Spanish, but my parents never forced it on me. You know?
Yeah.
So I never really found a need to learn it until I started dating this one.
Until
That's the
you...
only way I could talk to her parents.
really?
I live with them, and I still don't understand.
But yeah, I'm like very terrible at Spanish. If you want to know something funny, I used to work at a Pets Barn before I became an EMT,
Yeah.
and this still always haunts me till this day. I was giving a guy his total for some stuff that he had bought. It was $14. Of course, cuartos. You know what I mean? I'm saying it wrong still. I can't roll my R's. I'm sorry.
Sandy.
But I didn't tell him that.
What did you tell him?
I told him that his total was Jesse Quattro. I told him Jesse Quattro, and he looked at me like I was...
Jose.
So, I was all like...
I got that reference.
I was all... So, like that, like, it still haunts me to this day, because I told him the total, and he just kind of smiled and gave me his card, and I gave him his card back. He walked out. There was no more customers in the building, and I hear from the back, my manager's like, "Did you say Jesse Quattro?" And I'm just like, oh my God, he heard me. So until this day, it still bugs me that I always said Jesse Quattro as a total for 14.
Oh man.
Wow.
I'm trying to do better for my kids.
Wow. That's it. And then you, Jose. That's a Family Feud reference. You can find that on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And I'm pretty sure you said it so confidently.
I
Right?
did. You know what?
Quatorze.
Because I had to like stop and was trying to count on my fingers. I was getting nervous because he was looking at me. So I just blurted out 14 in my own way. Because if you think about it, like I always say, what is it? 11, 12, 13, and 14 are the only ones that don't have it. Because when you get to 16, 17, and 18, it's 17, 18, and stuff like that. So that's why I was in a rush and just thought off the top of my head, oh, Jesse Quattro.
Now I gotta say them.
I was all like, that's how I see it. Like, it's only 11, 12, 13, and 14 that are different from 16, 17, 18, 19.
That's true.
How do we get into this? We were talking about your guys' children, and we got into...
because one's super brown.
Yeah.
And he's trying to learn
One's
Spanish.
super...
But he knows Spanish. He's okay.
Yeah, he's
That's
good.
thanks to
A
your
little
mom.
One is Brown Panther. You don't get it?
Yeah, no.
Brown Panther.
Brown Panther.
Have you
Is
seen
that
Deadpool?
Black Panther?
No.
You haven't seen Deadpool?
The second one?
No, the first one.
The first one I've seen.
No, wait. No, the second one, yeah.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
You haven't seen the second
I
one?
just know there's a guy named
The
Cable.
second Deadpool?
I haven't seen it
You
yet.
haven't seen it?
I was all like, it's there, and I haven't watched it.
What? Of a comic guy.
I was all like, Deadpool's right there. But me, if it's Spider-Man, I'm there.
He's
I'm
probably
gonna see
roasting you from
Spider-Man.
that comic right now.
I was all like, if it's Spider-Man, I'm there.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Avengers, I'm there.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool says Brown Panther because there's a brown guy in it.
Aw.
And he becomes a hero.
I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna tell my son that he's Brown Panther.
It's a nickname now.
Maybe now he'll run faster in baseball.
So, now that you brought baseball up, that's actually our topic.
Thank you, Sandy, for keeping
Good
us on
right.
track.
Good transition.
Full circle. We
This
came
is why
full
I'm
circle.
Good transition.
This is what I do.
This is why you're needed in the podcast.
See?
To keep...
Gotta keep y'all in check.
Focus.
That's,
So, both of your guys' kids are in T-ball?
no, just our little one. Our oldest one likes baseball, doesn't want to play on a team, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of a football player.
Mm.
So right now, we're looking for a team for him to play football because the team that he was with doesn't exist anymore. So we're looking for a team for him.
Okay, now I'm making the difference. I don't know why I was mixing them in my mind. Like, just one. Like, Trunks and Goten together.
Yeah.
Gotenks?
Yes.
I was making Gotenks. But now I remember the pictures that I've seen from your guys'... Yeah, one is in football, one is in T-ball.
Yeah.
From where he's been stalking you, and yes.
That's good. We'll go with that.
Getting to know
It
our
gives
guests,
us more
baby.
views.
Research.
Research, yeah, of course.
Definitely. See.
That's how you
But we wanted to talk about the topic of having your children in sports at a young age from now on, what they've learned, what they could learn, and the benefits from it. Our children are not, of course, we have a 2-year-old, so she's not in sports
I mean,
yet. She loves soccer, though.
she does.
She loves
get
kicking the ball.
crazy.
She
That's
loves
like
kicking the
the
ball.
oldest one. Ryan liked soccer for like the longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still does.
Our oldest one likes football, but he still is not in the team. But we want to get him into any activity at all that involves him not playing video games.
Yeah.
I think that's every parent. They want that because there's times where the kids will be inside playing video games or something too long. And we're like, oh, all right, turn it off. You guys get outside. Go do something out there. Go run with the dogs or something.
Cut some weeds.
Like, go do something outside, because if we don't check on them or anything like that, they'll be stuck in front of the phone or TV or
forever.
Video games forever. Seriously. The oldest one lives off of Fortnite and YouTube videos about Fortnite. The little one, he's more of YouTube.
But
Not
just
really.
random.
Yeah, I was all like,
he's random.
yeah, he's very random. He likes Godzilla a lot.
And Mario.
Godzilla and
And
Mario.
Luigi.
So he'll watch videos like that. But for the most part, if we tell him, hey, no phone or anything like that, like, go do something outside, the little one has no issues. The older one does.
Because he's
As they get older,
Yeah.
they get more issues.
Preteen years.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Now I see what my parents went through.
Oh, I see that every day as a parent. Mom and Dad, I am so sorry for what I put you through. I see it every day.
You want to write endless letters like, I'm so sorry for
Also-
that time.
I have no regrets.
I was on.
And then your parents, when reading that note, les dije.
I know.
See, and I will
And
tell
then
you
here
that.
comes a chancla.
And the,
And then I will tell you that because growing up, I was a terror. I know that one. And my dad at the time was a police officer, and he always told me, you're gonna have kids one day, and you're gonna stress out just as bad as I'm stressing out with you and everything. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, old man. You know what I mean? And sure enough, now that I have my kids, I'm just like, oh my God, give me a drink.
We can't. We have practice.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a coach.
I'm a coach. I can't be showing up intoxicated.
Very frowned upon.
very,
But yeah, like
is that water? Yes.
Jesus. Actually, that's my son's nickname, Jesus.
they call him JC Baeza,
Yeah.
pretty much because every time they have to yell at him, they say Jesus Christ. Because either he's either running too slow or he's doing something that he's not supposed to. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Jesus, Noe.
That's all you'll ever hear. It's either Jesus Noe or Jesus Christ Noe. What are you doing?
That's so funny.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure you saw him when he got his home run on Instagram. He has cement on his feet. Like, he thinks he's running fast. Like, the upper body looks like he's running fast, but his feet are barely moving.
He's like,
Yeah, exactly. And there's times where he could be running faster. If you tell him, hey, there's candy over there or something, he'll run as fast as he can over there. But if you tell him, hey, I need you from first to third, he'll kind of slowly jog over there, thinking that he's running fast. So,
That's hilarious.
You guys gotta go watch the game.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
yeah, that's one thing. This T-ball league, I never thought it would be competitive, but it's T-ball and baseball, like the baseball world, is really different compared to any sports.
Oh, wow.
I like it because they learn that it's okay. Like, they're not out there crying because they lost. They're like, okay, we lost. Let's fix it. Let's practice harder.
get better.
Yeah.
So, luckily, he has not cried after a game.
That's
Yeah.
good.
When they've
That's
lost.
He hasn't cried. He'll beat himself up a little bit, and of course, talk to him about it. But other than that, he realizes, okay, like, I made a mistake. What can I do to fix it? And we always practice that. We practice a lot at home and everything like that, trying to just make him a little bit better from what he was last game.
Yep, definitely. Because if kids are just involved in school only and video games, all they learn is that you either pass or fail.
Mm-hmm.
Especially from school, like you either pass or fail. There's no, if you fail. That's where you stay. There's no you getting better.
Yeah.
You're failed. You're a failure.
Yeah.
I guess.
Right.
But with sports, even video games sometimes, but with sports they learn like, okay, this happened today, but I can get better.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing that we try to instill in our children, that hey, you always can get better. You don't have to stay the way you are. You're always.
Yeah, it's always more of a don't settle. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
there you go.
Because ultimately, like we say to, what our parents always said is that they wanted us to be better than them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with us. I want my kids to be better than me. with me, I wish I would have tried harder in sports and school, definitely. But I want him to not follow my steps. So I push him a little bit more and make sure he doesn't fall into my steps.
Yeah, same thing here.
It's like he's in kinder doing some shadowing of algebra, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. So I was like, he goes to this school right here, IDEA.
He's doing calculus and you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he goes right here to IDEA. So,
Oh yeah.
So with
Cool.
that, like in kindergarten, literally, they're already trying to do basic algebra with
Find
them
X.
in kindergarten.
It's like trying to school me, son.
Yeah.
No, Mom, that's
I
not.
was like, yeah. So by the time they're in
You're
5th
wrong.
or 6th grade, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Dad, can you help me with my calculus?" And I'm like, "Excuse me, I never took calculus in high school." So
Say to me, boy.
like, so I'm pulling to the side and just be like, "Look, man, I barely got my diploma. Relax, all right."
That's funny.
Yeah. He's very into. He loves his t-ball team. He loves to play.
That's cool.
So
What
that's
other benefits have you seen like in your children that they've learned from being in team sports?
The main one that we see, of course, with the little one is just his social skills.
Yeah,
he's
your son. As soon as he get off the car, he
Yeah.
gave me a
Yeah.
hug. Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, cool." That's-
He's
Yeah.
very friendly.
He's very friendly. He's
Yeah.
very outgoing. He likes to interact with a lot of people. So that was one thing that I really liked with him because he's not shy. You know what I mean? If you're shy and timid, you don't, I guess, put yourself out there for a lot of things, especially like in school or anything like that. So it doesn't really benefit. You kind of just stay in the back and do what you need to do, and that's it. And how I see it, and that's why I wish I could have done that a little bit more. Is
Yeah.
if you're going to be social, go do stuff in school. Go help around, be the school spirit kid. Do something like that to interact with school because it's going to benefit you in some way. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely something that another thing we want to instill in our children. Our daughter, she's very social. Today, when we went to go get our haircuts, a lady came in, and I guess she confused her for my sister, and she ran over there. She ran to her, like if. So she's not shy at all. Like, she's very social. She'll like walk with you randomly to wherever you guys are going, and like, what you doing?
See, and that's where you can tell the difference from, of course, our little one that plays sports and our oldest one that hasn't fully got like into the swing of sports.
Yeah.
Because he's played football seasons like sporadically,
Yeah.
like not constantly. So he'll play like one football season and then he'll have off like he had off like 2 seasons, and then he played again, and then he hasn't played yet. So he hasn't been able to, I guess, get that full commitment to a team to where it could build his social skills or his discipline or anything like that for the sport. Where in Tunes, little Noe already has that, and you can see a difference. You know what I mean? And the discipline is the biggest one.
Yeah, and you can start developing that and making it stronger as time goes by instead of
exactly.
diminishing it.
I was on, and that's the one thing that we never wanted for little Noe, like getting him into sports, is to get him in it, make him love it, and then push him so hard to the point that he's gonna be like, oh, well, I don't want to play anymore because if I do something wrong, I know Dad's gonna get mad at me or something. You know, that's never the case with any kid. You know,
Yeah.
You want to make sure they stay happy with that game and love that game if they want to play it for a long time. The reason I chose baseball for him too is because one, he's not the biggest kid. You know, unfortunately he's cursed with my genes. So I'm not the tallest.
He's only 5.
I'm not the tallest person in the world. I'm what, 5'9"? 5'9", but I'm the tallest one. I'm taller than my dad. My dad's like 5'6".
Yeah, I'm taller than
5'7".
Yeah, he's my size.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So, luckily I got some of the good genes, so I'm hoping that some of those good genes pass, you know what I mean? So, that's why I stuck him in baseball, because I'm like, you know what? You don't have to be too big or anything like that to be in baseball, but if you know how to play and hit the ball and everything, you'll be good. So, I kept him in that one, and especially, too, because it's easier to get a scholarship for baseball, you know what I mean? Even if he doesn't, get a chance to go pro, he can still play professional minor league ball, like for the Chihuahuas or something like that, AAA, AA, something like that. And he's got more opportunity where in football, it's either you make it to the NFL or you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like that with a lot of sports. What is it? Basketball. Yeah. I think they only have one league. I think it's called like the G League or something like that. That's like a developmental league before you can go into the NBA. And that's it. But if you don't make it good in that G League, it's, hey, sorry, man. Yeah, I mean, there's more opportunity in baseball, so that's why I wanted to stick him in baseball.
That's cool. That's awesome. Does he love the sport?
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah.
That's putting it nicely. He loves it.
Do I have practice? Do I have a game?
He always wants to practice. He always wants to play. When he's out there, I could show you pictures on how intense he gets with the game. So you could tell that he loves the game.
And that's cool because that helps with what you mentioned is discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline with, of course, getting better at the sport. And that discipline in the sport transitions into other things in life, like making your bed every single morning or something, like brushing your teeth. Like little things that I guess really don't matter in a way, I guess, for them. Like they don't really care about, but it's still important to do.
Well, see, and the thing that I always was taught, like especially growing up with my dad, again, 15 years in the police department, so he was very strict, very disciplined already. It wasn't until I went to the Navy where I started getting it a little bit more. But I had a chief in the Navy that would always tell me, do you know why we make you make your beds a certain way every day? And we were kind of just like, well, because it looks nice. And he's like, no.
You're an asshole.
And he tells me, no. The reason why we have you make your beds like this in a certain way and everything like that is because if you go through this whole day without doing anything, you could say, hey, I came back to a really nice bed and it looks good. I accomplished one thing today.
Yep.
So from there, once you accomplish one thing to start your day, it makes you say, hey, I'm going to go and accomplish one more thing. And you kind of keep going and adding things on that you accomplish throughout the day. And next thing you know, you're accomplishing way more than you thought.
Yeah. No, that's true. Because he dresses himself. He knows, like, his order. He dresses himself. He brushes teeth. Okay, I'm done. Now can you do my hair? Grabs his backpack, and then he's ready.
But do you have to tell him to do all that?
No.
I
I was
don't.
all like, no.
And then for his games, he's like, I need my glove, my helmet, my shoe, my cleats, my socks,
my
and
bat.
he knows what color shirt he's wearing for the week. Like,
So for the most part, that's my thing. I've always, ever since I got out of the military, I'm very big on following, I guess, your own steps like that to make sure you're always accomplishing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like you said, even though it doesn't seem like much, like, hey, it's just a daily thing. Again, at the end of the day, you accomplish something still by taking care of your room and cleaning your room, and hey, that's all you need.
Yep. That's definitely it.
Yeah.
And I thank the United States Navy for helping me with
that. Another thing is, of course, coaches are involved, so coachability from a student, because
yes, big time.
I mean, now kids are, the ones that are not involved in sports, they grow up in a way where they're not coachable. They think they can do whatever they want. And we saw, I think we saw like a documentary of how devices, because now kids with cell phones, they think they're in control of everything. Like if someone calls, they can reject them. So they feel like they have the power to answer this call or not. So they feel like they can transition that power to everything else, like going to school. Well, I don't have to. Stuff like that. So so they become very, I guess, arrogant in a way. And I think coachability is one huge thing they can learn, especially with team sports, to listen to someone who has the best interest in you. Yeah. Not the selfish interest.
Oh yeah, and coaches are a big part of it. You know what I mean? And like you said, a lot of kids nowadays do have that kind of arrogance to them too, where they say, "Oh, I can control my own self and whatnot." And you have a lot of kids that are like that still in sports. It just depends if they want to listen to the coach. Yeah. Because there's times where, of course, I coach 4 and 5s. You know what I mean? At that age, you're not expecting them to be like doing triple plays out there or anything like that. They're still learning the whole process. You know what I mean? And that's where, as a coach, is your big part is, again, teaching them how to do everything they need to do to win, and making sure you don't pressure them too much to where after a T-ball they're gonna be like, oh, I don't want to keep going. Like I had said, you know what I mean? So as a coach, like being coachable for kids is a big one. I think not only for sports, but just in general.
In life.
In life, yeah. I mean, because again, I'm pretty sure you could go to any workplace, and of course you have people there that are able to be coachable and okay, but you have that one employee that the boss says, hey, like, can you go ahead and try to finish this as quick as possible? And next thing you know, that employee is going to the break room or something and saying, can you believe how rude they are and how they talk to me? Like, no, they're trying to get you to do something just a little bit quicker. Like, that's not being rude. It's just kind of helping you to get going. So that's a big one that people need to relearn on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a lot of it helps give them the habits and discipline that they need to be productive adults.
Yeah.
And like contribute to the society,
Yeah.
not be so.
No,
So
it's
what?
true. I was all like,
Stuck up.
not only
What?
stuck up, but just
Why look at me like
No,
I was like,
not you, but like like
She looked at me, right? She was like,
so millennials. I just kidding.
no, but like a lot of kids just have that to them these days. You know what I mean? To where they think, I'm my own person. I don't have to listen to you. If I would have ever told that to my parents, I would have got a belt to the butt. Seriously.
kind of slap to the face.
Yeah, I mean, and
Lost a tooth.
and a lot of kids don't realize that. You know what I mean? And that's the tough part. That no matter how you tell them, no matter how nice you tell them, you're always going to come off mean and you're going to come off as the bad person. But it comes to that point where, again, it's going to catch up to them in the long run if they can't be coachable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one thing that that us as our goal as parents is to make sure that they're functional adults.
Yeah.
And we remind our son, not our daughter because she's 2. She's like, okay, Dad.
Start her now.
But we remind them constantly, like, hey, dude, I was 19 when I met you. You're 9 years away from that. So I tell them, like, life is going to go by fast, and you have to learn certain things that you don't learn in school in order to function in life and society. Mm-hmm. And we constantly tell them, like, if whatever you're doing now that's not good, if you don't stop it and find a fix to it, of course, we don't expect you to, like, from night and day, but gradually. If that doesn't happen now, then it's going to catch up to you when you're 20, 25, 30, and mom and dad are not going to be there too.
And it's crazy because we're talking about this, and we just had a conversation with our oldest one about this today. And my thing with my oldest one is I always tell him, you need to have accountability. Part of growing up and becoming a man is saying, hey, you know what, I screwed up here, and I need to find some way to fix it. And with our oldest one, he has a habit of wanting to point fingers at everyone else for him getting mad or him getting in trouble or something. But
well, that guy was talking to me first.
Yeah. And instead of him saying, you know what, I could have stopped and done something different, he wants to point fingers everywhere else. And that's the thing. That's, again, we're trying to show him again that by the time you become 25 or something like that, you have no one else to blame but yourself. Like, if you get in a fight out somewhere and the cop comes and tells you, hey, I'm here to arrest you, well, you can't just point and be like, well, this guy started it. You were part of that fight either way, and you're going to get in trouble, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, there's no principle that you can run to. Like,
exactly.
Oh, you started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when
The
life's
bouncer
gonna...
don't care.
and that's when life's going to hit them hard, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, like, it's going to... it takes that one event for them to hit that reality and say, oh, mom and dad are right. And, you know, as much as you don't want them to get to that point, you know, there's some times where they need that point.
Yeah, they need to hit rock bottom, too.
I'm going to come in and be like, te dije. I'm going to grab my chancla.
Remember as kids when they were told, te vas a caer, te vas a caer, te vas a... And then you fall. They're like... And they hit you more, even though you're in pain already.
Why are you crying?
See, and I have a
You
scar.
already had that cut.
I have a scar from me not listening to my parents. The one I have right here on my head.
Yeah.
My parents told me, stay away from that table. You're going to get hurt. There was a little glass table that my aunt used to have. It was a glass one.
Memories.
I know.
And it was chipped at a corner.
Ooh.
And they told me, stay away from there. Like, don't go play by it because it's broken and whatnot. Whatever. I was 4 years old. Like 3-4 years old. I was like, I don't care. Sure
my
enough,
son is safe. He's already 5.
I was crawling around with one of my toys playing by the table, and I was right by that chip. I went up and I sliced my head open. had to get 25 stitches plus like 4 staples.
Wow.
So that was another thing that my parents always come back to, and they're like, see, what happened? You wouldn't have that scar if you would have listened to us. Sometimes you gotta
now
find
you
out.
tell your kids, you see this?
You don't want this.
You gotta find out. You gotta find out the hard way sometimes. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I like to say that God throws you little pebbles in your life to warn you, and if you don't listen, He's gonna throw you a brick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best way to think of it. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I always grew up with my dad, very, very hard on me and everything like that. And growing up, I saw it as him just being a jerk. You know what I mean? Just him being a jerk, him wanting me to be perfect. And it wasn't that at all. It's my dad just trying to show me how to be an adult, pretty much.
And now that's what you're doing with these kids.
Yeah. And like I tell them, you could think I'm a jerk because I was in your shoes. I was in your shoes too. When I was growing up, I thought my dad was a jerk, but one day you're going to have kids and you're going to see it. And you're going to say to yourself, you know what? Mom and dad were right. Because I say that all the time. I talk to my mom all the time and I'm like, Mom, you were right. I'm sorry.
No regrets on me. I said my grandma.
She's like, let me say it again. No regrets. Let's emphasize this part.
I am my father's daughter. That's all I'm going to say.
Your mom always says that too.
That's funny. Yeah, that's one thing that we can relate to you guys about, that when it comes to your personal children, as parents, we're not their friends. So we're not trying to be their best friends or trying to make them happy all the time. They have to learn that life doesn't work that way eventually.
Yeah.
Because when if as a parent, if you make your child as happy as possible until he leaves home, then
he's never going to leave home.
He's never
he's never going to leave home, and I'm just going to be stuck with him.
If he does, he's going to find out the world is a nasty place for a person who's always happy.
Yeah.
And he's going to come back home.
Yeah. I was all like, and that's a big reality that we deal with. This world nowadays is nothing like we had when we were growing up. It's changing, and as parents,
it's more. I guess it's more. Sorry to interrupt, but I guess it's more exposed because of the internet.
Yeah, and all that. So these kids, again, because they have a phone or something like that, they think they're in control of their whole life, and we have to learn to adapt to that, to try to make sure we still raise them the right way, like the old school way that our parents raised us. You know what I mean?
Con la chancla.
Oh no, mine was a.
En la manguera, el cinto, las llaves.
It was a belt.
Whatever was nearby.
Mine was a belt. My dad, like I said, my dad was a cop. My dad was a cop, and he would.
The flashlight.
The baton.
No, I was all like,
"You're 18 now, son."
It's legal.
No, my dad, he had his duty belt, and he'd take everything off of there as quick as he could, and that's what I'd get spanked with.
With a duty belt.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those are like
they're
heftier than.
They're thick. I'll say it's like a nice piece of leather. And believe me, all I needed was one good swing of that thing, and believe me, I didn't want to do anything for a week without making sure I wasn't gonna get in trouble. You know what I mean?
And now you're a good man friend.
Hey, that discipline set me straight.
Don't do that to my baby. That's why he's in sports.
Exactly.
He's learning it somewhere else.
Exactly.
He gets the hits in the diamond.
Exactly. Throw baseballs at him.
Yeah.
Tell him he couldn't catch.
He's like, let's go outside and practice.
Throwing fastballs at him.
Actually, speaking of, he's gotten that to his face a couple of times.
Yeah. See,
so
that's what makes him that little bit tougher too.
Yeah,
I mean,
getting hit in the face and getting back up.
I was all like, he's had times
he's just like,
where he,
right, Super Saiyan. Don't cry. No crying.
Oh yeah, he's had his fair share of getting hit with the baseballs. He's gotten one to the forehead and had like a big old ball. He's gone to go tag kids and ends up tackling them and gets taken out with them, but he'll get up, dust himself up, and keep going. You gotta tell him pretty much. You can't baby him. Can't baby him and tell him, hey, come here, are you okay? Mm-hmm. You gotta shake it off. Come on.
Yeah, that's what
he plays hard, and he plays very. He has a lot of heart. he puts himself out there a lot.
Oh, definitely.
So that's good.
That's one thing that we want to emphasize in our kids with whatever they do is whatever you do, make sure you go all in, put your heart into it. Doesn't matter
110
if you
always.
if you fail or not. If you do fail, learn from it and keep going till whatever point you want to succeed. And keep going at it.
See, and my mom was big on that lesson with me. My mom would always tell me, I don't care if you're a janitor or whatever you do, if you flip burgers, you're going to be the best one out there.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to tell your kids. No matter what you do, you have to give 110. If you don't give 110, you're not going to make it, honestly. You might fail, or might get lucky or something, but the next time it comes around, you're not going to make it. So you have to always give 110%, no matter what you do.
Yep. And we had a talk with our son, 2 days ago? Or something like that?
Yeah.
I think 2 days ago.
Well,
I do a lot of the talking.
I was in the room.
I just sat there.
She started. I
was taking notes.
I continued it and ended it.
For several hours.
I'm not the only one that does that. Okay, cool.
Oh, no. I just find it important. I think it's long term. It's better than hitting long term, because you instill that seed. Like, oh yeah, my dad said this when I was blank, whatever. I talked to him for hours about anything that because she sees it as she's mama bear. I'm gonna protect my children.
You guys didn't see, but I pointed at Sandy.
Saw your big old hand.
But I guess we want to make sure they function as adults when they grow up, because we know that mama bear is not gonna be there. Yeah. So I see it in a long-term way, like very little things about how he treats women in general. Like, okay, well, you have to let your mom and sister go first and through the door before you go in. First. Open the door for them, do something for them.
Especially in a scary situation, send the girls in first.
Bring it on. I'm good.
But yeah, little things like that. And I was telling him, what was I telling him? I told him a lot of stuff.
That you have to be the provider.
No, and that's one thing with you, especially. You have a little girl and your boy. Of course, with me, the boys they know this too, because I stress it. But you have to teach him, one, to respect women, and two, that one day he's gonna be you. You're gonna have your own family. You're gonna have your own son, your own daughter. And you're going to want to show them how to be respectful. And you especially need to be the man. Like she said, be the provider. And you need to pretty much handle a lot of that situation. Like, it's going to hit you fast without you knowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and for us, it multiplied 10 times more after we had our daughter. Because now we have someone who's looking up to him. Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that he's being a good example for her. Yeah,
you always got to stress that, especially with the siblings. We stressed that with our oldest one too, Ryan, because pretty much little Noe looks at him like he's the greatest thing to ever walk this earth. You know what I mean? No matter what he does bad, no matter what he does good, he's picking it up. And we tell Ryan all the time, your brother's watching you. Like, he's watching you do these things. If you talk back to mom, if you're lazy and don't want to shower or anything like that, he's seeing it. Then he wants to do it.
Because he thinks it's cool.
Yeah, he thinks it's what Ryan's doing. I want to do it too. You know what I mean? And we have to always tell him and remind him, like, you have someone watching you at all times. Make sure you're you're the good example. Like, don't add on to him growing up mad or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because, like, we tell him, there's no reason for you guys to ever be mad. Like, you guys are 10 and 5. You don't have to worry about bills or going to work or anything like that. All you got to worry about is school.
Their life is so
feeding the dogs.
Worry about school, your chores, and
that's it.
And that's it. Like, that's all you have to worry about. Like,
and listen to your parents.
And it's in 6 years, pretty much. The oldest one's gonna be 16. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's gonna have that responsibility of, like we were just talking about, of getting a car and being on the road. Like, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? and eventually coming into a job and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he needs to be a good example. You know what I mean? He needs to show his responsibility.
Yeah, because what I've noticed with millennials, I guess we can label everyone is that the good thing that we bring into society is that we have huge dreams. Like, we want to be the best, biggest, whatever. But the thing we lack is, I guess, the follow through when it comes to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start doing this. Okay, I started it, but then I'm not seeing what I want. It's not what I pictured. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Yeah. Like they pursue their dream, but then as soon as an obstacle comes in their way, they're like, never mind.
Yeah.
And that's something that we want our kids to know, that like, hey, like we mentioned before, put your 100% into it. Like, it's not gonna be easy. You want a Lamborghini? Like, guess what? It's not gonna
just pull up in your driveway.
That's what my 10-year-old wants.
You want a Bugatti? You want a
like,
$1 million
hey, what do you
household?
want for your birthday? A Lamborghini?
Here's a poster.
Here you go.
I bought you the model.
Right.
No, and yeah,
that's not the real one. Yes, it is, bro.
And seeing that, yeah, with you guys have a good example. You know what I mean? Like Brenda was telling us, like, you wanted to start your podcast, and look where we're at now. We're recording episodes with you guys. You know what I mean? You followed what you wanted to do, and you're doing it no matter what. You know what I mean? You gave it your 110, and we're here right now. Mm-hmm. So that's a good way that you can show your kids, hey, you know what? I wanted to do something. I did it. Boom. Got it done. Yeah,
and I don't focus a lot on the number of views or likes I get or whatever. We do this because we like it, because we feel like we're what? Well, look at me like that.
You're saying we too much.
So we sounds like a lot of people.
Well, I mean, me and my pecs.
That's why I'm here.
I'm just here to look.
She just follows the pecs.
They're hypnotizing, like, okay, I'm going.
Those eyes.
Anyway.
But that's what it's all about. Is getting. I was like, you like doing it. You got it out there. Mm-hmm. It's your content.
Doesn't matter what.
It doesn't matter what happens. Mm-hmm. It's what you like to do, and you're giving it your 110%. You know what I mean?
All the time.
Yep.
The only thing I'll ever tell my oldest one about something like that is, hey, keep playing Fortnite, because there was a kid that just won
$3 million.
$3 million from playing Fortnite. So I'm like, okay, don't give it too much time, but get good at it so we can win some money.
I've seen a meme where it's like a parent. It's like a kid saying like, "Hey, can I get some real food?" "No, son, you're gonna drink Red Bull. We gotta get this.
We gotta get you ready for
it. Yeah, this battle royale.
Ready for Fortnite.
Yeah, like what?
Doritos and Mountain Dew, get you going.
Yeah, and I guess with video games now, it's more of a positive impact.
Yeah. Even though a lot of people say that it leads to violence, which it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
That is false.
But a lot. It's opened a lot of doors.
Oh yeah.
Video games has opened a lot of doors compared to when we played video games. Yeah, I mean, I grew up on video games like Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there's no competitions on who can play better Crash Bandicoot or anything like that. If there is, sign me up.
Right.
But you know,
He's calling you out.
But a lot of video games now are built into where you can have a lot more competition and stuff like that, and compete at a high level. So there is a positive impact for video games, especially.
Actually, yes, because Ryan wants to design video games.
See,
and some of the doctors I work with said that if you're able to play video games and just stare at the screen without looking at the remote,
you can be a surgeon.
You can be a surgeon.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of surgeries, like a lot of minor surgeries and stuff like that, are done with.
Like things that are done through the microscope, you're not like down here. You're looking up here, and you're just like that. So.
Grey's Anatomy.
What she does, she does eye surgeries.
Like, where'd you go to school? Grey's Anatomy?
No, like what she does eye surgeries. She does eye surgeries, and the doctors are pretty much doing that. You know what I mean? They're looking at a screen, and they're pretty much not looking down.
No, he's looking through a microscope, and he's doing cataract surgery. So in this little tiny space, he's just like that. I'm like, I can't even put water in the eye without looking. I was like, I can't.
You're like, where's the eye?
I try I was like, where's the eye? Almost squirting the nose.
Wow, that's crazy.
The patient's like choking.
It works with their, what is it? Their hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, hand-eye
Mhm.
coordination.
I have
big
none
time.
of that. So.
Yeah, that's.
Your hands over here,
Yeah,
your eyes
I can
over
play
here.
See, that, but
play
like I
Mario
said,
Kart.
that's
But I have
competition.
no
That's the
screen.
competition that we had. Was playing Mario and seeing if you get through a level faster.
See?
But now they have things where they can compete with people from all around the world.
Yeah.
Technically.
But not everybody can be a doctor, so don't get any ideas.
Right?
You just have a slim chance that you
Yeah.
could be a surgeon.
Slam.
Still have to go through school.
Yeah.
We're not guaranteeing anything.
Even after school, there's no guarantees. But yeah, guys, we are very happy you guys came over.
Oh no,
Insured.
we were having a blast.
Yeah.
I thought it was already
nice
done.
to catch up. It was nice to catch up.
So it's time for you guys
Sandy's
to do
like,
your...
yes, I'm doing podcasts from now on.
Right.
See, look, now you gave her the positive impact. There you go. She's gonna come
Do it
do
for
some. She's gonna come and be a
Well,
guest
She's
on
like,
mine.
if Brenda can do it, I can
I
do
know.
it.
You gotta, and on top of that, like whenever I get mine up and running and get my setup going, you guys, I would definitely want you guys on mine too, and
Definitely.
we'll talk some nonsense on there too.
We'll be honored.
How about Brenda's love for his pecs?
That's the 1st
We'll talk
thing
about
I
you guys.
saw.
I already have some ideas because you just brought that up.
It's gonna be the first episode. Like on this episode, pecs and biceps.
Text him
Is it
message.
the true love? Is that the true love there?
It was love at first sight. I was like,
Now I gotta know, did you move the pecs for her when you like first met her?
Yeah.
he still does. Show him.
So he doesn't do that.
No, I don't want him to seduce me.
He's like,
Yeah.
man crush.
I don't know how this... I don't know
We're
how
all
this...
adults.
Yeah.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. See, you guys made him blush. That's never happened
Sliding in.
before.
What do you mean you made me blush?
Right.
I used to blush all the time.
Anyway.
See, it was awesome. Like just sitting here conversing and stuff like that. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Brenda had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was like, the first 30 minutes you'll notice, of course, it was
So
nothing but laughing and having fun. So
My cheeks hurt. That's when I know I had fun and my cheeks hurt. When they're sore.
That's my
Yeah.
goal in every podcast, to make her cheeks hurt.
I know. I was gonna say. I was like,
I was all, no, that's the best.
What cheeks
way.
are you talking about?
if you can, if you can make her cheeks hurt, you've done well. That's true. It hurt. It's a real thing.
It's a muscle, guys. It's like the pecs.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
The pecs of your face.
The
Yeah.
smiles, the pecs
Just
of the
like
face.
the eyes and the pecs of the face.
Oh, see, we can keep going. This is
I
great.
know. And hopefully you guys can invite us to a game.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was every Wednesday and Saturday.
Mhm.
He didn't have a game this Saturday because of
Labor Day.
Labor Day. They have a tournament going on, but next week, Wednesday.
If you don't have a job, say Happy Labor Day. Don't say that.
If you don't have
Right.
a job.
If you don't have a
If
job,
you
you
have
can't
no
celebrate Labor
Should
Day.
not
You
be
can't
celebrating.
celebrate.
You can't
Not
celebrate
like,
Labor Day.
let's have a cookout. I
Just
don't
because
work
you didn't wash
tomorrow.
your dishes for one day does not make it Labor Day.
Taking the day off from what? Yeah.
You have a home business. That's good.
I'm
I
covered.
can't pull
I'm good.
that.
We're covered.
See, you're good.
You have your home business?
Yeah.
Oh. See, that's cool. It's productive.
See, there you
I
go.
don't wanna
We're still
be home.
productive all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hustle.
why you have a baby. I have to.
Gotta hustle.
Exactly.
Gotta hustle. Gotta hustle and everything.
You
Yeah.
can never stop.
110%. Didn't we just
Hustle,
learn that?
like new movie.
We give it our all.
It's true. Her it's looking good. Protein shakes looking good too.
And obviously in
I'm
the
jelly.
pecs.
Well, go ahead and do your plug, guys.
I don't think they talk yet.
well, like we said,
To me.
guys. Like we said, just be on the lookout for the Mad Medic Adventures. We're gonna be trying to get out to most major streaming areas, Spotify, Apple, everything like that. Yeah, I was
Sandy's like, "Wow."
luckily with Anchor, they're able to put us on some major platforms.
Yep.
So that'll help me out. But like I said, look out for the first episode. I already have 2 pretty much recorded. I'm just trying to figure out when I'm gonna put them out there. I need to do some editing still. So hopefully here soon. And if you like paranormal stuff too, I like talking about that. So
There you go.
Halloween's coming up. Has some scary episodes.
Go Misfits.
That's it, guys.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much for coming, guys, and we hope to have you guys back soon and look
us
forward
being
to.
Yours.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah. You want to
I'll
add
see.
anything else?
No, just
Think
you
of
so
the
much.
subject.
Huh?
Think of a subject.
Oh, I had a subject.
Oh,
There's so many.
She has plenty.
well, oh, now you want to be.
Right?
Oh, now you
Now
want to
she's
do
in
a
it. Now
podcast.
she's in it.
She's like, if Brenda's
Just for
coming,
them.
I have it.
Only for them.
No, but like I said, we look forward to having you guys on with us too, and hopefully come back with you guys too.
Yeah, definitely.
You're always welcome to come into our little calendar room. That's what
Little calendar.
I was like, I like these notes. I was like, where are my notes?
you have them on your calendar. They just usually fall.
Those are bills.
Those are our notes.
Here, babe. I love you. Pay that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, yes.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much. And I mean, I don't know. It was just so awesome. Like when he said you guys are coming, I was like,
Yeah.
really?
No, we had a blast. I've been looking forward to this all day.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
Us
you
too.
have.
So
And it
I'm
looks like
super
our
excited.
kids are getting along out there.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Until we go out there and one's jumping off the couch and they're wrestling around.
One swing.
We're gonna be out here like stepbrothers.
Right.
Let's do that.
Did we just become best friends?
Hey, I never asked you. Do you like guacamole?
So no, but thank you guys again. A blast.
Of course.
A lot of fun.
See, my son just made a new friend.
Exactly.
Not our plug.
I started it.
Termínalo pues.
Finish strong.
Well, as you know, guys, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram at Firelane Podcast. Listen to us. Where?
Everywhere.
There you go.
Just everywhere. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll be giving you guys a link here hopefully soon for my Facebook and,
There you go.
and Instagram too. Get that out there.
Yeah, so we can put it on this episode. So,
My T1 schedule. If y'all want to hit up my son.
right?
Watch him hit these home runs.
Right.
What's his number? What's the number?
89.
89.
By his son.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Tuning in. See why I don't do outros? Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Firelane Podcast, and we'll listen to us on the next one.
Thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.